Everyone, my name is Jessie Hall, and I come from a family of four, which is made up of myself, my sister Brenda, my mum Lynette, and my dad Terence. We are originally from South Africa. We moved to Melbourne in 2013 when I was 12 years old. After 2 years in Melbourne, we moved to Sydney and we have finally settled down. And hopefully, the rest of our family will be moving to Sydney soon. So this is my first year in Western Sydney University, but it is not my first year studying. Before I enrolled into university, I had previously studied 3 certificate 3s. Two of them were in TAFE, so one of them was veterinary science, which I discovered was just not my cup of tea. The second one was my certificate 3 in education support, and this is basically where I fell in love with being around children and working with children alongside teachers, of course. My third certificate 3 I did as an apprentice in early childhood education. So, why become a teacher? Last year, I worked as an apprentice at CV Preschool in the early childhood sector. To say the least, this job built my confidence and helped me develop my love for educating and nurturing children. I decided that after this apprenticeship, I would build my skills and just take the plunge to become a primary school educator. I'm very passionate about this sector and I would love to nurture the young minds of this new generation. So, enrolling into Western Sydney University was probably one of the scariest things that I had done. Partly because of my anxiety to be around people, but also because it was obviously something new to me and I had never been into a uni class due to COVID. But to my surprise, it was one building and it was super easy to navigate, and I loved my first class. So I kept on coming. My limitations walking into Western Sydney University was my time management skills and reading critically. I was able to fix my time management skills by creating reminders on my phone and making timetables of everything that was due for within a week's time. And then the next week I would continue that over. But then reading critically, I have acquired reading glasses, which I did not know that I needed. And then also making sure that I'm reading at least 10 minutes a day. So, walking into literacy and numeracy, I was surprised to learn that this subject was more about how literacy and numeracy complement each other, and that they are vital skills to our everyday lives. I definitely did think that through this subject it would be very difficult for me to grasp the literacy concepts through the readings, but just doing the readings and being an active learner, so being able to look up the words, ask questions, I was able to understand the subject a little bit more. So, from assessment 1, I was able to understand that literacy and numeracy is in our everyday lives, and over the course of that first assessment, we had to pick 5 activities that we were doing over 3 days, and we had to think of how literacy and numeracy was in our everyday life. So, this could be from the wordings on a toothpaste to discover if you want to strengthen your gums or whiten your teeth. Or it could even be the road signs that we see every day when we're driving to work or to university. So, stop signs and speed limit signs like 80 kilometers per hour. This is how we know to keep going. So, for assessment 2, we had to read scenarios and find literacy and numeracy problems within them. This was a little bit of a difficult um, task for me because obviously reading, I still had to look up things and figure out what it was trying to ask me. So I did a lot of practice and I began to understand, and I asked questions and read the content carefully, highlighted important things, and this was very helpful for me. So, doing assessment three, I'm discovering that as the further in I go into this assessment, I am accompanied with all the things that I've learnt previously through this semester about literacy and numeracy. And I have also realised that in my other three courses, I have used these skills, if not both, at least one. And these are very vital to our Western Sydney University life.